I think there is something living inside me. It all began with a dull ache in my abdomen. At first, I brushed it off as nothing, a stomach bug or maybe something I ate. I popped a couple of antacids, ignored the discomfort, and went about my day. But the ache didn't go away. In fact, it grew worse. Over the next few days, the pain intensified. It wasn't sharp or stabbing, but it was deep and persistent, like something was gnawing at me from the inside. I tried every remedy I could think of, over-the-counter medications, heating pads, even herbal teas my grandmother swore by. Nothing helped. Then, the strangest thing happened. One morning, as I stood in front of the mirror brushing my teeth, I noticed a slight movement under the skin of my stomach. It was subtle, just a small ripple, like a muscle twitching, but it stopped me in my tracks. I stared at my reflection, frozen. Was it my imagination? By the time I saw the doctor, the movement had become more frequent. "It's probably just muscle spasms," Dr. Patel said, his tone reassuring. "Stress can cause all kinds of strange symptoms." He ordered some routine tests, blood work, an ultrasound, but nothing came back unusual. "You're perfectly healthy," he said with a smile. "Try to relax." I wanted to believe him, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. A week later, I woke up in the middle of the night with a searing pain in my stomach. It felt like something was clawing its way out. I clutched my abdomen, my breath coming in short, panicked gasps. And then I felt it again. Movement. This time, it wasn't subtle. A distinct snake-like slither pressed against the inside of my skin, sliding from one side of my stomach to the other. I screamed. I rushed to the ER, clutching my stomach and trembling with fear. The nurse took one look at me and ushered me into a room. The doctor on call, a tired-looking woman with dark circles under her eyes, performed another ultrasound. Her expression changed as she stared at the screen. "What is it?" I asked, my voice trembling. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she called another doctor into the room. They whispered to each other, their faces tight with concern. Finally, she turned to me. "We're seeing something," she said carefully. "It's hard to tell what it is, but there's definite movement." I felt the blood drain from my face. "What do you mean, something?" "It could be a parasitic infection," she said, trying to sound calm. "We'll need to run more tests." The tests came back inconclusive. They couldn't determine what was causing the movement, but they assured me they'd figure it out. Meanwhile, the pain grew worse. It wasn't just in my stomach anymore. I started feeling it in my chest, my back, even my legs. It was as if whatever was inside me was spreading. One night, as I lay in bed, unable to sleep, I felt a sharp, stabbing sensation in my right arm. I turned on the light and rolled up my sleeve. To my horror, I saw something move under the skin. It was small, no larger than a finger, but it was alive. I grabbed my phone and started recording, desperate to prove I wasn't losing my mind. The video showed a clear, writhing motion beneath my skin. I took the video to a specialist, a parasitologist named Dr. Elaine Vost. She watched the footage with a frown, then ordered a series of advanced imaging tests. When the results came back, her face was pale. "This isn't like anything I've seen before," she admitted. "There's a structure inside you. It's complex." "Complex?" I repeated, my voice rising in panic. "What does that mean?" "It's not just one organism," she said slowly. "It's multiple, and they're growing." I begged her to remove them, but she hesitated. "We don't know what we're dealing with," she said. "Surgery could be dangerous." I didn't care. I couldn't live like this. The surgery was scheduled for the following week. In the meantime, the movements became more pronounced. I could feel them wriggling beneath my skin, crawling along my spine, and coiling around my ribs. At night, I heard faint noises, clicking, chittering sounds that seemed to come from inside me. The night before the surgery, I woke up drenched in sweat. My body felt like it was on fire. I stumbled to the bathroom, clutching my stomach, and flipped on the light. My reflection made me gasp. My skin was bulging in unnatural ways, as if dozens of tiny hands were pressing against it from the inside. And then I saw it. A small, sharp claw pierced through my skin, followed by another. I blacked out. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. Dr. Voss stood over me, her face pale and drawn. "You're lucky you made it here in time," she said. "What happened?" I croaked. Her lips tightened. "We removed something, but we need to keep you under observation." They wouldn't show me what they took out. But late one night, I overheard two nurses talking outside my room. "They're keeping it in the lab," one whispered. "It's still alive." Alive? Yet I felt a cold dread settle over me. I've been home for a few days now, but I can't shake the feeling that something is still inside me. Last night, I woke up to the sound of faint clicking, and when I looked in the mirror, I saw a small, faint ripple beneath the skin of my chest. I think it's starting again,